Yo, how's it going? So, trained exorcist reveals the wildest things he's ever seen while doing an exorcism. I am, I'm on the fence. Honestly, like I don't really like believe it's like the tarot card readers, guys. Like, I don't, I feel like they might be capping or something else is going on. Like, for example, I remember that one video with the dude that like put his hand on the what's it called on this dude's head and he popped out like started coming back to life and shit. I think I gotta remember. Like my man out here resurrecting this random dude. Like he's over here pulling on all for Jesus and shit. Like come on, bro. Like really, like this is why I don't really like. That's why I have a hard time believing like exorcism and tarot reading and all this astrology and whatnot. Like come on, bro. Like, come on, man. Who are you fooling, bro? Like, we all saw him, like, breathing and, like, moving before this. Like, all of a sudden, you have Jesus powers and whatnot. Wow. Unbelievable, bro. Unbelievable. The fact that everyone also was like, you know, there's a crowd gathering is insane to me. But whatever. All in the name of like I hate fake pastors like this is the worst, bro, because they steal your money. I feel like, but again, this is why I have a hard time believing exorcists. And so going back to this, it's like trained exorcist reveals quiet things. It's like I don't know, man. Like there's some crazy things, bro, and I don't. There's people are so quick to fake things just for like like the pastor who was like guilting everyone into giving them money. It's just this money ploy that I see sometimes, and it's just I don't know.
When I
It's
was in Rome,
interesting.
I was able to connect with a Franciscan priest who had been an exorcist for 25 years. And then he permitted me to sit in on 40 exorcisms that he performed during the time that I was there. And then
Mm,
that allowed me to learn firsthand the ministry of the church for those who were up against the forces of evil and were seeking help.
What was the
okay.
most extreme one you witnessed out of the 40? Because, of course, you get that question all the time.
There are a few that stand out. Obviously the very first one, I'm talking with an elderly lady and her husband,
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay.
she's explaining to me why she believes that she's possessed. And I'm just the three of us are in the room where we're having a conversation, and I'm watching Father Carmine, the priest who trained me, and he walks into the room and he puts a roll of paper towels on the table, and he walks back out, and he comes back in and ties a plastic grocery bag onto the wall radiator.
Mm.
He walks back out again,
Okay.
and he comes in, and this time he has a purple stole, which is a piece of purple cloth that a priest will drape around his neck as a sign of his priestly office. He
Okay.
has the rite of exorcism in his hand, and he immediately takes holy water and he blesses this little elderly lady. As soon as the drops of water hit her, the demon manifested. Her eyes rolled in the back of her head. She began foaming at the mouth, growling and snarling, and throwing out all kinds of blasphemies.
Such as.
Interesting.
She was insulting God,
Oh,
she
okay.
was
I got it.
insulting me and Father Carmine and just about anyone. Basically, doing anything as a way to disrupt this particular prayer of the church.
And then you
Okay.
said, so you've seen many. So that was the first one you saw. Was there anything that was more extreme than her?
Absolutely. The one that really stands out the most was during an exorcism when the demon manifested and the person's body began to levitate.
You saw somebody's body
I
levitate.
saw
Okay.
a person levitate during an exorcism.
Ah,
How much?
it's like I need the proof. Honestly, like I can't just say based off words sometimes, bro. Like things like this, I can't just hear it and then just be like, yeah, makes sense. Cool. No, bro, like I gotta see it. Like there's no way. Like it's hard for me to just take this take this as facts here, but
Which was
continue
the
on.
levitation?
Continue on.
The person rose about a foot out of the chair they were in because I'm looking at this in disbelief. And
Mhm.
Father Carmine is praying the rite of the church, the prayers, and he's glancing over and looking, and he looks back at his book. He looks back at the person. He looks back at his book. Then he takes his hand, puts it on the head of the person and pushes them back down into the chair without ever pausing for even
Gandalf over
one
here.
moment in the prayer.
Was any of that caught on camera?
The church does not videotape. Oftentimes, people.
How convenient, Father.
But let me.
Yeah,
let me
that's the
ask this
thing.
question.
Like,
But the priest.
thank you, thank you. You know, and another thing is like I've also okay, my mom goes to church and she told me about a situation with a lady, but that they were praying and out of nowhere she started speaking in tongues. Is that a demon? Or because they were saying it was the Holy Ghost, but it was like that's where I don't, like okay, like I feel like there's certain caps out here. Like there's certain lines. Like it's great to believe in religion, but to start making like saying like demons manifest and stuff, situations like that, it's where I have a hard time believing and where they kind of lose me. But
The reason the church
hey,
does that is to protect the identity of the individual.
So obviously, at this point, Adam believes in this stuff a lot.
I am very skeptical.
Yes.
Just to put it
Yes,
out there.
I'm out
I'd
here
like
too,
to see
bro.
what the audience has.
But the mixture of who we have today is
Yes.
perfect. Of where I think it's healthy to be skeptical. So
yes.
you know,
Okay.
if I go to a David Copperfield show and I kind of see what the works he's doing, I look up, I see the strings, I'm like, that's pretty cool how they're doing it. But in this setting, when that happened, how many people were in the room when you saw this?
It
How
was
many
me,
witnesses?
another priest, Father Carmine, the individual, and a family member that was with him.
So
there were
five of you.
5 of us.
So it's not. So here's the part. Let's play a skeptic, but let's also play. Why would he say this? So when you look at him, he doesn't look like like I watch his interviews. There is what is like yesterday. The biggest thing was what's the motive? Like when I watch Bob
Yeah,
Larson,
why
I'm
would
not
you
gonna lie,
lie?
I don't know how you feel about Bob Larson. You look like you have some opinions on Bob Larson, or no?
We all do.
Okay, so I'd be curious to get your feedback on Bob Larson. And when
Bob Larson is who exactly? He's a famous exorcist.
Do you know who Bob
with
Larson
the daughters? Is that
yeah,
him?
yeah. Bob Larson's the guy with the daughters. This
Okay.
is Bob Larson. So
Yeah, I've seen him.
a
yeah.
guy like him
Okay.
is why nobody would believe in exorcism. Okay,
He looks like a
Because
demon
this
himself.
is the part where it's the flamboyant, the showmanship, the all this stuff. I have a hard time. What's your opinion on Bob Larson before I even go further?
Well, rather
Not
than
genuine?
being critical of someone else, I would tend to want to be more positive about what I believe exorcism is. Because we talked about skepticism. An exorcist is trained to be a skeptic. I should be the very last person in the room to believe that somebody is truly dealing with extraordinary demonic activity. Every other possible explanation needs to be exhausted. And that's the approach the Catholic Church takes. That's why even in the United States, we have a protocol that we follow. And step number 1.
Is it only the Catholic Church that deals with exorcism, or does like other like Mormons? I'm not too familiar with all the Christianity aspects of the religion. And do Christians perform exorcism? Do Mormons perform exorcism? Do Jehovah Witnesses like? Is it only the Catholic Church that performs exorcism, or what's up? That's my question here too.
One of the protocol is for the person to have a psychiatric evaluation. Step 2 is to have a physical examination because the church wants experts in the mental health field and in the medical sciences to weigh in on what is happening or what this person believes is happening in their life. I will say, because I am publicly known as an exorcist, I receive the high volume of people who reach out to me, but the majority of the people who reach out to me have already self-diagnosed. And any exorcist will tell you that when somebody has self-diagnosed, 99% of the time, it's not something demonic.
99% of the time, it's not something it's more like DID or it's something else that.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
When someone self-diagnoses, meaning they think that they are possessed by a demon, 99% of the time, it's not accurate.
Correct.
Okay.
So
Okay.
they're calling me and saying, I'm possessed and I need an exorcism. And my response would be, no, you're not. We may get to that point, but we have to look at
What is actually wrong with them at that point? They're schizophrenic, they're bipolar, they're on drugs, they're depression. What's the?
It could be all of those, and that's
It could
why
be
it
all of
has
those,
to
and
be
then they also want attention or
investigated.
something.
Because I would be the first one to say
They want to
the
show
church
that it was
would
false.
do greater harm to someone if she labels that person as being possessed, and that label prevents the person from getting the true help that they need. So there may be other people that are exorcists that may be too quick to believe that somebody is possessed. But again, I think that would do greater harm if it prevents them from going and getting help from the psychiatrist or their family doctor. Because the overriding goal should be to get help for the person who is suffering, whether that be due to spiritual, physical, or mental problems that they're having in their life.
It's a
So
crazy
if you like
logo
this
they
clip
have.
and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you
Okay, like I guess it was like the wildest thing he's seen was the person levitating 3 feet off the air, or a feet off the air, something similar. I feel like he didn't really. I don't know. I'm still very skeptical of everything. It's just yeah. It's something that I wish they would put like videotape or something. But I get this is between these guys, this group of people or whatever. But until then, like I must just remain a skeptic. Like I can't just say I can just take it at face value. And sure, you could say they don't have the motivate, like there's no motive and for them to lie. But at the same time, like I don't know, like yeah, it's hard. It's just hard.